Player for real. However, I might be looking right now. Don't get my baby mixed up with this sucker shit. Him as the villain. Like I said, whoever this go to, let's go to war.
As always, before we go to war, I'd like you guys to please like, comment, and share the video, and if you're new, please subscribe. But if you're a returning viewer and haven't subscribed, please subscribe, it's free, that's all you have to do. But if you wish to donate to the channel, you can go to Cash App. My cash tag is $cookie802VT. And as always, I'd like to say thank you to the ones that do donate to the channel. It is really much appreciated, keep them coming. This one is going to be a breakdown of the night September 7th of 1996, and that night was the alleged night that Tupac Amari Shakur was murdered in Las Vegas, Nevada, after a Mike Tyson fight where him and his crew allegedly beat up a man named Orlando Baby Lane Anderson while they were in the casino, and then they left, and allegedly Baby Lane and a few other people in a white Cadillac found Tupac and Suge at a red light, and allegedly they shot up Tupac and grazed Suge. But is that what really happened? Did Tupac really get rushed to the hospital in an ambulance, and then from there 6 days later he died at UMC in Las Vegas, Nevada? Or was there something else to the story that we're about to uncover?
Going to 662, fall in. Follow us.
I just want to tell you, you missed, motherfucker!
I know this case is an old one, so I don't want to hear that, oh, this is way back when, it doesn't matter anymore. And that's false, because every case in this rap industry and the music industry matter. Every single one matters. And we've all heard the conspiracies and all the lies that have been going around about what exactly happened that night in September of 1996. And that's exactly what we're going to do in this video here. So I'm going to let the footage play of Orlando Baby Lane Anderson getting jumped in the casino by Tupac and his crew allegedly. And then after that, you'll see some footage playing from people that were on scene. One of these people that were on scene told me, at least, what exactly happened that night. And I'll get right back at you.
At this time, the wounds are life-threatening, but serious, not in critical condition at this time. And
the person, as you are already aware, who was the passenger in this vehicle is a known rap performer by the name of 2PACALYPSE.
And by the time we got here, they were already taking, which now I found out was Tupac, into the helicopter away. He had been shot.
After the footage of Baby Lane getting jumped in the casino played, the footage of what happened that night live on the scene, September 7th, 1996. And the black man that was allegedly in charge of the scene, in my opinion, he had no clue what was going on. He said the women were life-threatening, then they were just serious, and so what were they, life-threatening or serious? And then we get to the white woman with the blonde hair that was on scene that night, and she said that she was just a tourist, taking in the scenery basically with her significant other. And then they heard some gunshots and then cars screeching off, and then they come up on scene, and she said that she allegedly saw Tupac getting rushed into a helicopter, and then he left the scene. Now the only thing I found odd was that she had to say a helicopter. She was the only one that I can find that night, was the only one that said helicopter of any kind. Everything else I could find that basically gave a breakdown of what happened that night, they all said he was rushed to UMC via ambulance. So what did this woman see? Who did she see getting into that helicopter and rush him off scene? Was it Tupac? The only other person I could find that even mentioned helicopter was this man that's directing a movie allegedly that's supposed to come out at some time. I have yet to see that happen though. But basically, the movie is going to be about what happened if Tupac survived the shooting and basically escaped from UMC Medical Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. That's all hunky-dory to me. But the only thing else he said that made me think about it and think twice was how he escapes the UMC building. And that was via helicopter. Tupac allegedly escapes the medical center via helicopter and then goes to New Mexico and then is protected by the Navajo Indian tribe, I think he says. But the only thing I find odd about it was he says that he escapes via helicopter. What are the chances that this movie allegedly is going to be made? I have yet to see it. If you guys have seen it, please let me know in the comments below. But like I said, I have yet to see it, so what are the chances this man is saying that Tupac escaped via helicopter, and now we have a blonde woman on scene saying she also saw Tupac leaving in a helicopter? Fuck a coincidence. Coincidence does not happen anymore. Fuck that. Tupac escaped that night, and I believe his body double was the one that got hit. Because in my opinion, Tupac was not the one that got shot in that vehicle that night. There is a body double on scene that was at the casino, and Tupac walks right by him, and we have it on footage. I do not know how nobody else saw this. I only saw a couple of other vloggers talk about this, but there's footage of Tupac walking by a man that was dressed in the same clothing as Tupac, the same shirt, the same even pants, and I'm assuming the same shoes even, but he has the same necklace hanging out of the back of his shirt as well. And of course, he is bald. You could call this man Tupac's doppelganger, if you will. But what are the chances of the night Tupac allegedly lost his life, a high-profile rapper, what are the chances of his doppelganger being there that night, wearing the same clothing as him, and then Tupac dies? So I'm gonna let the footage play of the director talking about the movie first, followed by the evidence via footage of the body double after that, and I'll get right back to you.
Straight to the point. After the shooting, what's next?
Most people would agree with official reports that after being shot, rap icon Tupac Shakur was taken to UMC where he died 6 days later. But local filmmaker Rick Boss has an alternate ending.
This movie is about Tupac actually escaping the University Medical Center here in Vegas and relocating to New Mexico, getting protection from the Navajo tribe.
Boss says when the rapper arrived to Las Vegas for fight night, he was informed of a planned hit on him. Now that's when the escape plan came into fruition, from planting a double in Sugeknight's BMW to a strategic aerial exit.
When certain FBI agencies are looking for you, the first thing they're going to do is block the airport so you can't travel out. So the best way to escape is through helicopter, private helicopter, to another state.
We just heard this film director named Rick Oss said he was going to make a movie about the quote-unquote true story of what happened that night with Tupac. Like I said, we have yet to see the actual movie come out and be presented to the world other than just a little, preview film thing, like a film poster. We have not seen anything else other than that film poster. If you have, please let me know so I can correct it. If not, it is what it is. But the body double, that has got to be the most powerful evidence I have found proving that Tupac could possibly still be alive to this day. But like I said, I don't know if he is alive to this day. I do know that he did not die that night, September 7th of 1996 in Las Vegas, Nevada. As you can see here, I circled the body double. Now if you look at his attire, that is the same thing that Tupac was wearing that night. And if you look where the red arrow is in the back, that's Tupac walking towards, he was going through the crowd. This is a little still shot. He was walking through the crowd and he walks past this guy that's circled that has the exact same everything, down to the bald hair, the necklace. He even smokes cigarettes just like Tupac. He even has the same stance as Tupac. But he walks by, and then right when this other Tupac, or the main one, gets to this other side of the group, he turns around and he gives a little signal to his body double, in my opinion. And you could say that his shirt is not the same, but he is just in the darker side of the room than the other Tupac. The one in the far with the arrow, he is in the light, so it looks almost yellow. And now in the circle guy, he's in the darker side, his looks dark, almost orange. But I guarantee if they were both under the same color light, that shirt will be the same. Another piece of evidence that we found that night is if you take a look at these two side-by-side pictures, these are supposed to be both Tupac. But I have a problem with that. For one, they look like two different people to me. They just do. But if you take a look at his fingers, the index finger on the Tupac that's throwing up the peace sign, he has a ring on his index finger. Now if you look at the Tupac on the right throwing up the West Coast W hand sign, there is no ring on that index finger. So you're telling me that he's wearing every other ring besides that one index ring? He took that one off? Is that what you're telling me? So why did he take it off? Because if you're going to tell me it's because he fought and beat up Baby Lane, why didn't he take off the rest of them? You know what I'm saying? So that just does not float with me. These are two different Tupacs, if you ask me. They look different, and then if you look at the rings, those are different. The body double is going to look exactly the same. They're going to have something little, subtle. They're going to have something subtle that they can tell the difference, but the average eye won't be able to. Because as you can see, no one even talked about this body double or this man at that night of Tupac shooting that was dressed just like him and everything. And like I said, it could be his doppelganger, but fuck a coincidence. Now I've always believed that these rappers, tell exactly what's going on in their music. Now if Tupac was to fake his death, what do you think he would do? Do you think he could stay away from music and not make any? Or would he change his name and possibly still make music just under a different name? Nonetheless, they definitely say what exactly is going on within their music. But I want you guys to check out these two songs, basically describing about what happened that night. One of them is called Casanova the Dawn, and the song is called Mystery. And basically this one is in the point of view of Tupac basically surviving the shooting and giving his point of view about what really happened that night. Now, if this first song by Casanova the Don, I don't know what he looks like. If he looks like Tupac, then that has to be Tupac. But if it's not, and it does not look like him, then he must know something or have some close relation to the real Tupac, and then he told him what went on that night. You know, the song is just too on point. You know, real eyes always realize real lies. You know, just always remember that. And then the second song is by Glasses Malone called Tupac Must Die, and in parenthesis it says Orlando Anderson. Now that one is going to be about the point of view in Baby Lane's perspective. Now, like I said, these artists tell what is going on in their music. In this first one, he sounds too much like Pac. You know, I slowed him down a little bit, but you can still get the gist. I'm gonna let these two play, and I'll get right back at you.
Let me tell you what happened though. Thug life. It's been 16 years, still stuck in the dark cage. Living in my mind, thinking about the fateful day. 97, 96, I remember like it's yesterday. I got a lot to say, let me make a thug, make it cry. How the media said that I died, but I'm still breathing. Who do you believe in? Everything that you said was a lie. You see, listen, we was in Vegas, getting faded in the city of sin. I had a bad feeling that night after the fight at the MGM. Can you feel me? We left the telly on the way to the club. These hoes pulled up right beside us. My adversary steady plotting on my tip. Excuse the bullets to my name on my chest. I heard gunshots, but it got weird. Instead of bullets, only smoke appeared. Next thing I knew, 2 men in a suit were just standing there. They opened the door to grab a nigga by his feet, let my head hit the concrete. It was a nightmare, dragged on the street. Scars on my back, looking at the white Cadillac. Before a black bag over my head, I couldn't believe what I happened to see. A nigga who looked just like me in the passenger seat. But it can't be me, sitting there next to Suge. Another 4 shots and that can't be good. I gotta find a way, that's what I say. Next thing I know, I'm brought to the head.
Rap artist who led a troubled existence has lost despite her life.
Gangster rap singer 2PAC Shakur died tonight in the Las Vegas hospital.
Alright, so we just heard the first song, which was Casanova the Don, and the song was called Mystery. Now, there's really no reason for me to explain much because A, it sounded so much like Pac. You know, Tupac had such a unique flow, only he could really do it. You know, and this guy, he sounds so much like Pac, it's unreal. And then just the things that he was saying, you know, like everything you heard in the media is a lie. You know what I'm saying? And he saw Ella in the passenger seat, but it can't be me. That's what he says in that one. And then when the gun starts shooting, he says instead of bullets, it was smoke. You know, just smoke and mirrors is what he's trying to say. And then the Glasses Malone one, that was basically Baby Lane's perspective of what happened. And, you know, that's the version that we all know today. Is like, they jumped this man and then they caught up with him. You know, is that really what happened? Or is there more to the story? Like I always say, they'll take you out how you live. It doesn't matter where you are or when it happens. If they want you gone, you're gone. And there's one other thing in this Glasses Malone video. At the end of the video, you will notice the bloody hands that are supposed to be Tupac's, and then the index finger ring falls off. You know, it had to be the index finger ring. Now that brings us back to the body double and the ring that was missing on his index finger. Now, why did they put that in that music video? Was it because that they know what really happened that night and who got shot and who didn't? You know, did Tupac make it out? Did he not? Is he alive? Is he not? You know, it would be awesome if he's alive. This is just too much proof and too much facts. Tupac did not die that night, September 7th of 1996, in my opinion. And as always, it's your boy Cookie with All In Media. It's all in or nothing.